You know those old scary movies where somebody like Michael Myers is chasing after you? I'm talking about the guy from Halloween, not Austin Powers, all right? Now, replace Michael Myers with the Repo Man. That's right, car repossessions are going up, and it's just another aftershock of what's happening to our economy and to our wallets. And it's also burning a hole in the books of banks, as some people are opting to destroy their cars rather than have them returned in mint condition. Now, here's something they're not going to tell you. Billions of dollars are exiting the banking system right now, and there is little to nothing that's being done about it. What's more, hundreds of banks may face a very similar fate to that of Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, and First Republic Bank. Not the best time to have that much cash in the banks, I guess. And you know what they're blaming? Interest rate hikes from the Fed. Now, with all of this fear, who do you trust with your money? How about trusting artificial intelligence with your investments? It looks like they're making a killing, but the question is, how long until the problems rise? Now, you might be thinking, what problems? Here's the thing. Has there ever been a machine that's never experienced having an issue or a problem? The debt crisis has been averted? Now, I know it's weird that I worded it as a question because they're still going to come up with this $4 trillion out of thin air and adding that to the federal debt. Some experts are saying that we should expect a 25 basis point increase to rates. And that is very bad news if you're a consumer, because we should expect everything to become that much more expensive. And how old are you planning to retire? There is a think tank that is suggesting that it may be bumped up to 75 years old. Are you willing to work until you're 75? Like, imagine your work week right now and then extend that until you're that age. Can you live with that? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments on that one. Let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's get right into the updates. Also, for the very best way to invest in gold or silver, check out the links in the description down below this video. So I got a question for you. Are you an investor? Do you want to become an investor? The stock market is not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of experience to understand what's happening, and even then, some people still miss out on a great payday because they didn't take every variable into consideration. Now, think about that for a second. It basically means that nothing is set in stone and that the markets, the stock markets, they can switch up just like that. Then why are thousands of investors putting their money to follow an AI system to pick stocks? 25,000. That's right, guys. 25,000 investors have recently signed up to follow the GPT portfolio experiment, and from the name itself, you can tell it's from ChatGPT, you know, that really famous AI bot. Anyway, so right now there's around $14.7 million invested into the AI stock picking, and they're saying that the return could be as big as 500%. Now, from the number of investors alone, the average investment would be about $600, which means that you could possibly make about $3,000 if the AI is right with its trading algorithm. So how does it work? Well, AI will analyze 10,000 news articles and 100 company reports to select 20 stocks for the $50,000 portfolio. And this is updated each and every single week. Now, I want to ask, would you be willing to invest your hard-earned cash in a machine like this? A bot? You know what they say about things that are too good to be true, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and leave that decision to you guys. After all, it's your money. Now, on that note, did you guys know that our banking system is steadily getting weaker? And you might say, wait, it's getting weaker? But they told us that it was sound and resilient, Ron. Well, let's just say that these people who are in power, they know the words that we need to hear, all except for the truth. Now, between May 10th and the 17th, depositors have promptly removed $30 billion out of American banks. Banks in the country now only hold $17.15 trillion in deposits compared to a year ago when they had $18.03 trillion. And that's not data that I hold myself. This is from Fred. Not a guy named Fred, but it was actually compiled by the Federal Reserve Economic Data System. Another report from the Federal Reserve shows that 700 banks are also at risk of collapsing due to unrealized losses. And what does the Fed attribute these problems to? The raising of interest rates. So yeah, they're blaming themselves. Interest rates that are expected to keep rising. It's crazy, right? So Michael Murray, a contributor of Peter Schiff's website, is saying that we should expect this, especially with the debt ceiling deal that has been projected by Goldman Sachs to give the government around $4 trillion to spare. Although some people say that Murray hit the nail right in the middle when he had this to say in his write-up, quote, "The fundamental problem isn't that the US government can't borrow enough money. The fundamental problem is the US government spends too much money," end quote. Do you guys agree? You already know where I stand on that one. And this isn't their money that they're even playing with. It's our taxpayer money. Now, I get that they were able to cut spending to some extent, but still, that's $4 trillion. Now, at this point, how long do you think that it's going to take for them to raise enough tax revenue to cover all of this spending? Or are they just going to keep kicking this can down the road and hope that it solves itself? This is what's coming to us, guys. This is the the ugly truth. Now, speaking of waiting for things to sort themselves out, did you guys hear about this one story about a car getting repossessed in New York? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of cars getting repossessed now, but this one story takes the cake because this guy, he tried to back up his 5 Series BMW, even though its front wheels were already lifted up off the ground from the repo truck. Now, what makes the story even worse at this point is that you can even hear in the background that the owner's kid was supposedly behind the car, meaning that he could have injured his son. Now, I understand that times are very tough, but come on, guys, it's not worth hurting your own kid just to keep your car, right? But we are bound to see more stories like this because banks made terrible loans, and you best believe that they're going to be losing a lot of money because of all these stupid decisions. And as far as I know, banks like Wells Fargo, Capital One, they got a lot of cars that are now being repossessed because, like it or not, until you completely pay off that loan, that car is not yours.
Detroit area mom Dawn Hurley's daily lifeline hangs by a thread.
How many days a week do you need this car?
7.5.
Every day. Every day and then some.
Yes.
Yeah.
After months unemployed during the pandemic, Hurley, who drives her kids to school each day, then travels for her new job in pharmacy operations, is $1,000 behind on car payments and on the list to have her car repossessed.
Have you had to choose between car payments and other bills?
Absolutely. I've had to choose to have my rent late.
All the while knowing she could wake up any morning to find her car gone.
Have you lost sleep over this?
Oh, of course.
That nightmare, a reality for a surging number of families nationwide. After tumbling at the start of the pandemic, the rate of American borrowers dubbed severely delinquent, or at least 60 days overdue on their car payments, is up nearly 18% from a year ago. That same rate for subprime borrowers, up 40% in the last 2 years. Repo agencies say the impact is obvious.
The number of cars referred to you by the banks to get repossessed has tripled?
Correct. It's all about inflation. You know, the price of fuel, price of food, and a lot of the customers can't keep up with their car payment and feed their family.
Now, it really makes you wonder if you have to keep working your entire life just to pay for everything. Like retirement isn't an option anymore. How long until you retire? Now, if we listen to this UK think tank called the CSJ or the Century for Social Justice, people should wait until they're 75. Now, I want to ask you guys right now, are you willing to come into the office until you're like, 74? Call me crazy, but I am not going to be waiting until 75 until I can receive my pension. That is crazy. But of course, the last word goes to you guys here in the community. Let me know what you guys think about today's updates down in the comments. We're in a pretty dire situation, guys, aren't we? It feels like the odds have been stacked against us. And with little to no option for recovery, many of us are just facing the truth that things really can't get any better than this. But there is a silver lining though, especially if you're a part of this community. Now, you can always hit me up in the comment section down below. You guys know I read all of the comments. We can talk about cash flow, mainly improving it. You can do that with side hustles, a couple of small businesses, a home-based business, e-commerce stores, drop shipping, affiliate marketing, probably even generate multiple streams of income. And I'm also open to discussing investments with you guys, be it in the stock market, real estate, or even gold and silver. But don't hesitate to hit me up. Always read the comments down below. Also, right now, you should see 2 videos overhead. Be sure to click on these videos and check those out right now. Before I go, please don't forget to leave a like for the video and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Appreciate all the love, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one.